This is Uyghur Stories. Stories from the Uyghur diaspora. Hello.
Hello.
Hoş geldiniz. This is Uyghur Stories. Stories from the Uyghur diaspora. Thank you for joining us. My name is Mukaddas and John.
And I'm John Bear. We're excited to invite you to join us for a conversation over the next few months as we hear stories from across the Uyghur diaspora about art and culture, science, and many more exciting subjects.
We hope that this podcast will be a place for people both inside and outside of the Uyghur diaspora to connect with each other, hear about some of the amazing stories about the Uyghur homeland, Uyghur culture, memories, and what is going on inside of our community.
Yeah, our goal is to facilitate a conversation that is welcoming for everyone, whether you've grown up in the Uyghur community or, like me, you're an outsider who only knows a little but is interested to learn more. So I guess this is a good time to introduce ourselves. Mukaddas?
My name is Mukaddas Mijit. You can call me Mukaddas if you cannot pronounce the K. I'm an ethnomusicologist, filmmaker, and performing artist. I was born and raised in Urumqi, the capital city of Uyghur region, and moved to France when I finished my undergraduate studies. I have been living here for the last 17 years. I do creative and academic work around Uyghur culture and Uyghur expression. Everything I have done since I arrived in France is closely linked to the idea of telling stories about my culture. And I'm so excited to start this project with you, John, to fully share the cool stories that I heard from the people that I talked to in the diaspora.
Yeah, I'm so excited to hear them and to talk with you about them. I'm John Bear. I'm an American writer whose primary passion is helping other people tell their stories. And when Mukaddas broached the idea of a podcast, I was really excited to have a chance to help her bring it to life. I have a background in Asian and Middle Eastern studies, but I'm certainly not an expert on the Uyghur community, on Islam in general, or in contemporary Chinese politics. So I'm really excited to learn along with our audience about some of the amazing things going on in the Uyghur community. A community that is facing enormous adversity and existential crisis, but is surviving and moving forward into the future.
And this is really what this podcast is about, isn't it? We want to connect audiences with Uyghur stories from around the world, sharing how each person defined their identity, what they are doing to perpetuate culture, tradition, and their way of living. We are also sharing stories about what is happening across the diaspora in the arts, science, academics, and activism. And in doing this, we want to show how the Uyghur community, even though we are facing really tough challenges and hardship right now, are a vibrant part of larger human culture. We are not separated, we are part of all of us.
And that's what the name of this podcast is suggesting. A musician we admire, Hassan Mahmoud, named his band Uyghur as a derivative of We Are Together. And the title of this podcast is in that same spirit. Even though each episode will feature stories from the Uyghur community, these stories are about a common humanity, that we are all together.
That is the we in Uyghur stories.
Yeah. And one note about languages. We are recording this in English, obviously, and many of our conversations and stories will be in English, but some will also be in the Uyghur language.
We think this is important to provide a platform for Uyghur language to be spoken and heard. In those cases, we will also provide English translation, and we do plan to release additional content entirely in Uyghur.
And for more information, you can visit us online at WEghurStories.com. That's WEghur stories.com. And on Instagram at Uyghur Stories.
That's right. Subscribe now so you'll be sure to get the first episode as soon as it's available. See you soon. Khair khosh.
Bye. See you soon.
Uyghur Stories is hosted by Mukaddas Mijit and John Bear. It is produced by The New Wild. Our audio engineer is Hasher. Our theme music was also composed by Hasher. Uyghur Stories is made possible with the support from the US Embassy in Paris. For more information, please visit us online at www.WeghurStories.com. That is www.weghurstories.com. Of course, you can find us on Instagram at Uyghur Stories.